Now this place looks a little different than normal, doesn't it? 6 lanes of preventive maintenance. It's going to be a 3-day project here, but number one problem right now, this pin setter motor. The complaint they had on this one is every once in a while they saw the pinwheel going backwards, and I thought, that's crazy. It shouldn't do that unless the motor has a problem. And then they said, well, this is the one that's missing the cap covers. So I dug a little deeper. Let's see if I can move that light around. We've got a broken wire terminal here. The wire end, the terminal broke, and it's just being held on by the heat shrink. So, step number 1, repair damaged wiring to motor capacitor. I've never been to HVAC school, but I've watched enough stuff on TV. Short your cap leads together, make sure your cap's discharged before you put your phalanges in there. So we've got our old terminal end chopped off, re-stripped the wires. We're going to come in with a 1/4 inch disconnect. We're going to do some heat shrink over the top of it, and we should be good to go. You know, someone asked, why do you carry around that crack torch lighter? For this very reason. I found it out in the bushes at normal work. It was a good find. It's come in handy many times. So while we're waiting for that to cool off, let's wiggle this one. That one feels a little squishy too. So let's investigate that connection as well. Yep, sure enough, look at that. It's cracked in there also. Cool. Pays to check, right? Do your due diligence. So we've got our wire ends repaired. I just pulled off all the tape and stuff that was holding it on. If anybody has replacement motor caps for one of these Howell motors, let me get some. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna see that. It's all covered in tape. But yeah, we would love to have 2 motor caps. Let me know if you got a couple hanging around. I'd love to take them off your hands. So the plan is right now, we're going to upgrade from duct tape to plumber's tape. I'm going to try and strap these motor caps down with something a little better than duct tape and zip ties, just so we can preserve the wiring a little bit better in the future. Yeah, that's pretty good. Those are sturdy. They're not, that's not going anywhere. Let's see what happens when we turn it on now. Cross conveyor's locked. Hold on. Wobbly camera. The long turret drive belt was removed when I got here. We put it on, but let's resume pin feed and try this one more time. There we go. Let's make sure it does not rotate in reverse. Because I think that was the one with the broken wires was start capacitor. Without that start capacitor to urge it in the proper direction, you could either go in reverse or go forward or go nowhere and trip the thermal. Yeah, we're good. Well, we're good with the motor. We have an indexing issue, don't we? Let's shut this down. Let's see where our turret has hung up. Anything obvious? Not from up here. Our belt came off. We lost our drive belt. Why? After about 10 seconds of searching off camera, I found it. It's not supposed to do that. So it looks like, where are you? Right there. 5/8 and 11/16. And I have to go really, really far to the workshop, like 4 steps. And look at this, things are kind of clean and organized. Yeah, another pulley. I didn't have to spend an hour digging through the workshop. I was wrong. It is 3/4 on both sides. So let's get our belt back on, and we will attempt this one more time. Yeah, you can't see. Sorry, I'm a bad camera person. Get that spring back on, we'll turn it back on. That looks better. Perfect. See, I have a vacuum cleaner. I know how to use it. Someone asked, like, well, you gotta clean those turrets are disgusting. Well, yeah, they are at that other place, right? They're not paying me to be there to clean their equipment, right? We're trying to get stuff back together, up and running as fast as it's breaking down. But look, I have a vacuum. I know how to clean. So just like everything, we're going to start top down, right? And vac our cross conveyor, our gearbox off, our catwalk platform here, diamond plate. Then we'll jump down, we'll do turret clutch, turret basket, deck, whatever in the ball return path. And maybe lastly, maybe not today, right? Because we have 3 days here. We'll pull the pit boards up and vac out under there as well as under the elevators. So we got our turret baskets kind of backed off real quick. We're going to move down to our moving decks. Lane number 1's already done, but we'll pick it up here. I'm definitely taking notes along the way. That's why I've got a notepad with me. But here we've got a worn out deck holding hook. We have a crack in our web right here between 4 and 5. That may be nothing, but we're going to note it anyways. Well, I'm going to have to change up the plans because we're eating up batteries faster than I can charge them. So we're going to vac a pair out, and then we're going to wipe down a pair. And that'll give us time for the batteries to recharge. So I guess that's the moral dilemma with the other A2 center that you guys see all the time, right? You guys are mad that the machines are absolutely filthy. You know what? And they are. But that should have been a conversation between their ownership, leadership / management and their former lead technician, right? Because those machines didn't get that dirty overnight, right? I mean, it took like, I don't know, 20 years to get that bad, or at least 10. I mean, if we're being honest here. You know, and people get mad. They're like, oh, that was so dirty, those machines, how can you stand it? And the simple answer is, if you were the owner of a bowling center and your machines were running in fairly poor condition, would you be more concerned with how clean they are? Or would you be more concerned with keeping them running and generating revenue, right? Here, we have a different situation. These machines have been taken care of. I'm not going to tell you where I'm at. All you need to know is they have 6 lanes. They're not an extremely high volume organization. And somebody probably 5 years or so, 6 years or so ago had been taking very, very good care of these machines. So it's not like they need a whole lot. Really, right now it's just clean, lube, inspect. Basically what Brunswick used to call their 5120 program. So we're going to wipe everything down. We're going to take notes about parts that might be needed. If we don't have them, we can order them in. We're going to clean the bejesus out of everything and make it nice and shiny. Look, see, look how shiny this is. Beautiful, right? Alright, so we got lane 1 done, lane 2 done for turret and deck. I started vacuuming out on number 3, and our parts order came in. So we have Classic only had one in stock of these PPP booster kits. It's like a transition step between the booster and the deck light. So people who are not advantaged with a very long leg span can go from the ball booster here down to the front of the lane. The other important things are we have a brand new roll of 25-foot rubber lift rod cover, because most of these are they're kind of shot, huh? That one's not terrible, but it's gonna get replaced anyway. New rod cap kits. We got 5 here. They have one more in stock up there. Cork kicker strips. Revive ball cleaner. Yeah, I'm not sure what that's for. Some little screws. 4 spare scissor assemblies. This is good. This is good. Well, let's maybe transition away from cleaning to installing some lift rod cover. That might be a nice change of pace. I have been cleaning things for hours and becoming a little tedious. I didn't bring a compressor with me because I know these guys they've got one for their air actuated bumpers, but I'm wondering if this is going to be long enough, we can go from there with this hose all the way to there and do these rod covers in the machine. Well, the unfortunate thing with this air hose kit is that the business end of this thing, the threads are too small. They don't fit, what is this? Whatever size this is, focus. Yeah, these are non-compatible sizes here. So basically we've straight piped this, and we're going to use the regulator to help control our pressure. No, that's impressive. So to answer the question, will it reach? Yes. Yeah, it'll reach. It's a big stretch though. Well, you might ask why we shifted gears here. Because this is our main objective. This is going to be the most physical, labor intensive part, is putting new rod cover on 6 machines. So the thought process was to get it out of the way now. So for anybody that says, oh, I do it in the machine, it's super easy. How do you do it? Make me a video of how you do it, because I'm not having any luck. I'm gonna pull the lift rods out and we're gonna like wrestle an alligator on the floor, kind of. That's how we're gonna do it. I had to close the door because I didn't want to be stared at, right? It's like what do we want to call it? Like Shamu wrestling an alligator here behind pin setters. Yeah, I'm not attention seeking in that sort of way. I did a better job prepping this one. Hit it with a wire brush, scraped it with a razor blade. I have my flat file. There's a couple metal burrs on here. One thing to note is it's important to do a good prep job. Make sure that you take any old rubber off, dingleberries, clean it really good. This should be smooth. The smoother this is, the easier rod cover is going to get on. The first thing we did, I didn't do as much prep work and almost gave myself an aneurysm trying to pull it around the narrow bend. Yeah, you want to talk about a beached whale wrestling an alligator on the floor. That's kind of what it looked like. All I can think of is the Band-Aid song, right? I'm stuck on Band-Aid because Band-Aid stuck on me. You know, I think it was a noble idea, right? But ultimately, it didn't work. I mean, if you think about it, it kind of is poetic justice, right? Somebody literally tried to put a Band-Aid on it. Well, I started off day number 2 without you. We have bolted on a transition step, aka spare tool tray. we have one more to go, but it's on back order. Fun fact, this flanged oilite bearing, they don't have any here, right? But instead of waiting to order some, we substituted it out. It's 11-421017. The inner diameter is correct for our X pin. The outer diameter is correct for our yoke here. And the only difference is it's a little shorter, right? The cylinder sleeve isn't quite as long, but it'll work, right? So now we're good. So we did those 2 lift rods yesterday. We're going to do this one, and I'm hoping to do these 4. The thought is to get all of the most difficult ones done first, like the most difficult items on our to-do list. And lift rod cover is a little bit labor intensive, and I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm not even in my 30s anymore, so it gets a little more difficult. Noticing a little bit of an issue with this tan rod cover on the skinny bends. When I'm going to cut for the rod caps, it wants to split, and I'm losing, an inch or 2 of rod cover every time I do one of these skinny bends. It's not a huge deal, but I haven't been on A2s full time in 7 years, so this is a different formula than it used to be, right? So I don't know if anybody else is seeing this problem, but it's happened to me every single lane so far. So we ran our 25-foot cover out of tan rod cover, and they had this old red stuff. There's a document in the box that lists this as 2017, so it's been sitting for a while. It's still in great shape. It's not bad at all. But I guess kind of what we can do is we can, so these 3 have tan, and those 3 are going to have red. I didn't get to lane number 1. This was a struggle, and I kind of wore myself out doing 3 lift rods. Yeah, I'm not in the greatest shape anymore, huh? And like I said, I'm not in my 20s. So lane number 1, day 3, first thing in the morning. I do have an hour left until I'm out of here, so I think what I'm going to do, we're going to grab our shop vac and our lights. We're going to vacuum that turret and the deck off. That one's done, but it needs to get wiped down. We'll see how long it takes to vac everything out. If we have enough time, we'll start wiping some stuff down here. Alright, so day number 3, project 1, our last lift rod for lane number 1. I had another set of hands with me this morning, and we discovered you can get around the bends a little easier with, where did it go? I don't know. Wobbling the camera around. A little bit of liquid dish soap. So we made our way through, excuse me, deck pivot points, not the scissors yet, because the decks are down. We're going to bring everything up, and then we'll go in and we'll hit scissor pivot points. But cable pulleys, turret pivot points, turret frame pivot points, basically deck lift shaft pins, rollers. We're going to go through and hit elevator pivot points. All of our, hold on. Our, let's get in here too. Idler arms. We're going to go through. We need to get our lift rods. So we're going to put a little bit right there, a little bit on the flange there, and because these are the stamped steel clapper boxes. You can get a little bit right there too, without too much effort. Nice and easy. Hey, while we're here, boop, boop. One drop in the fill hole. Nice. We're gonna hit our lift rod pivot points. Little dab there, little dab there. We've already got those. We can hit our preference system pivot points. So we're gonna do our bushings here. And on our inboard side, kind of hard, awkward angle to see in there, huh? It's okay. Ball joint arms, drop there. Come over to this side. Go one drop here, one drop, crossover by the nut, drop on our ball joint, a drop on our other ball joint, preference bushings, one there, one on the bottom, and then one here on each side of the spring rod. We can go in here. We'll use some of the thicker stuff. This is 30 weight motor oil. We'll dribble some 80 weight or Lucas oil stabilizer on that. We're gonna do in here also, but it may take 2 hands because I want to lift this up ever so slightly. So I won't be able to get that one on camera, but know that it is getting done. We've got our triangle plates. One there, one there, one there, one there. And then don't forget the front side. Oh. Alright, so top side pivot point. It's going to be cycle linkage. We're going to do our clutch reset lever pivot. That was too much oil. It's kind of hard to control this oil dropper bottle. I like my little zoom spout better, but that's okay. We'll make this work. Bushings up here. Bearings. We'll probably use the thicker oil for the bearings. I know we will for the cam surfaces for sure. So we're rocking and rolling. Got some helpers up front, rolling some equipment. I'm back here watching everything. So far, everything looks perfect. Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. We did not have time to pull pit boards and back underneath the machines on this go round, but there will be more opportunities in the future. So with that being said, this is just the end of a chapter, not the end of a story.